You all, we are not licensed professionals. You know, we are just here on this roller coaster called life, trying to be better friends to one another, trying to be better human beings on this planet. If you're tuning in, we are not opting out of therapy. We are not advocating that you listen to us and not see someone who is licensed and trained to help you with day-to-day life on how to cope and deal. So we advocate for therapy a lot here. We believe that everyone has something to talk to somebody about. So, just like to make that disclaimer that we're just here giving our opinions and having discussions week by week. And we're hoping that, you know, maybe you can find something useful, or if at least find a little humor in this terrible, terrible rock we call the world.
In other words, if you listen to our advice and you get popped in the mouth, don't at us.
Yeah, don't at me because you may get popped in the mouth again. Hello, and welcome back to another episode of the Friendship University, the podcast where we come together week after week to try to be just a little less trash in hopes that it will encourage you to also try to be a little less trash. I'm joined by my soft to the touch, very handsome, not so humble co-host, Miki. How are you doing this week?
I appreciate the introduction. Soft to the touch. That's nice. Never been called. I mean, I've been told I have soft skin, so I guess that's an accurate description. But you know, that was really nice of you. I was doing well up until. What time is it? 4:30. It's about 5:00 now. I was doing well up until about 3 hours ago, and let me explain why in just a second. So, I was. Actually, before we start, let me go ahead and just do with this first. Let me get rid of the. Let me go through the normal stuff first, and then I'll get into what happened in the past, few hours. I'm doing well. I'm looking very forward to next week. I'm starting a workout fitness boot camp class, which I'm very excited for. I start that tomorrow. I thought it was Tuesday. I thought it was Tuesday.
It's a trainer, and he's gonna take you through like a.
Yeah, so it's this place called, where I live, or close to where I live. But yeah, it's a trainer. They'll do they'll help you train, so walk through exercises and stuff like that. But they also do nutritional training, so they're gonna teach you how to eat and what you should look for in your food and things like that. I'm very excited for that because I've just been dropping the ball, honestly, as far as fitness goes.
Ooh, you and me both.
Just ghetto. So looking forward to that. I also start my new role next week. I'm very excited for that. I've enjoyed the time off, honestly. Not working is great, and ultimately my goal is to make the most amount of money doing the least amount of work. So that's it's kind of I got a soft touch of that because money was still coming in. I just wasn't doing anything, which was nice. So you get what you receive. I mean, you get what you receive. You get what you ask for. So, like I said, universe, God, Jesus, I want to make the most amount of money doing the least amount of work. So that's what I go to sleep thinking about it. I wake up thinking about it. So outside of that, doing good. Spider-Man 2 finally released, and it is incredible in every way, shape, and form.
That's what you've been doing all weekend.
Not necessarily. As I mentioned last week, I went to a wedding the day before yesterday, which was really nice. Really beautiful venue. Didn't even know the venue existed, even though it was just in my backyard, basically. So really beautiful. Congratulations again to my friends who just solidified their marriage and all that great stuff. Hopefully you enjoy your honeymoon if you're going on one. Had a good time there. And then, so yeah, doing pretty good overall.
I saw some videos on the Spider-Man 2 game. It looked really good.
Yeah, that's good.
Somebody said don't download it on PS4, it'll explode.
I don't think it's available for PS4, honestly.
Oh, wow.
I would be really shocked if it was, because it probably would destroy your PS4. But yeah, shout out to Insomniac Games for making yet another amazing video game. But anyway, that leads me into the last about 3 to 4 hours. So, before we get into that, I'm just going to ask a few quick questions. Just going to quiz you, Kristen. What time was I supposed to be here?
4.
which I showed up around 4:30.
Yes.
Second question for you, Kristen. What is a guaranteed thing I'm going to look for on any food menu ever?
Chicken tenders.
Thank you. Sounds
And
familiar.
fries.
Yep. Period. Okay. So, it all starts off. I remote start my car because stunting on these hoes.
Yeah, you
I got the feature. It's warm outside. I wanted my car to be a little cool.
Because you do have the leather seats.
I just got out the shower. I wanted to have a nice, cool car, so I wasn't sweating my ass off. So I walk outside. I pull the trash up to the front. Because it's tomorrow's trash day. I'm walking, and then all of a sudden, out of my ear, I hear, the sound like a golf cart makes, like it's like a lawnmower sound, kind of, sort of, unless you have like an electric one. But I heard this one coming up. So I look to my left, and here comes, for lack of a better term, Joe Biden and his wife, whatever her name is. Here come these two old YTs. No offense to YT. If you're black, nothing for you. If you're white, something for you. Anyway, so, and listen, I love white people. Shout out to the whites, or some of y'all, I guess. So they come strolling up. Never seen these people a day in my life. Gotta be in their at least 100s. So they pull up to me. And I'm like about to walk back to my car. I'm wearing what I'm wearing right now. I'm wearing all black joggers, black shoes.
You look good,
black
by the way. I
shirt.
see the chain.
Thanks. Gold chain, okay,
got the
dangly
Cuban.
earring, right. So they're like, oh, hey, sir. I was just like, hello. And they're just like, me and my wife, I don't know, Brenda, Melinda, I don't fucking know. We're just talking about how we never see anybody come out of this house. It's like every time we stroll by, it just circumstantially
How many times do you
comes
stroll
out.
by a day?
I'm getting there. It's like, it's just circumstantial. Like every time we roll by on our little golf cart, we never see anybody.
So they were actually on a golf cart.
They're actually, that's what. Yeah, they're actually on a golf cart. You throwing a lawnmower? That would be funny.
No.
So
maybe an electric scooter, a wheelchair. I don't know.
No, they were on their, for lack of a better term, white privilege mobile. Because you got to be privileged to have a golf cart, like a personal golf cart, like something you can just whip around the neighborhood. You have to have some money for that. It's kind of like someone investing in a boat, except I feel like it's like a more logical thing to purchase. But anyway, so I'm like, me and my family are just pretty quiet. Like we pretty much just stay to ourselves, which is for the most part true. Like we don't make a lot of noise. We're not really the ones to host parties. We're not really ones to like, do all these extra things like Thanksgiving, Christmas maybe, but that's really it. I be chilling at the house playing with my cat, and I'm inside. So I was like, we're pretty chill. Not make a lot of noise or whatever. Like we're cool with our neighbors or whatever. Like they know who we are and we talk. But like again, we're not just chilling outside. Picking the roses and waving to Suzanne across the street asking about the kids. Like we don't care. So I was just like, and then they wanted to get all up in my business, all up in my black business.
Please.
What is it that sound on TikTok? What is like? Why not mind your business? But so they were like, oh, what do you do for work? How long you lived here? What are your parents like? I'm like, why are you? I cut them off on one. I was like, why are you asking me all these questions? They're like, oh, just figure we get to know you. Figure we never saw anyone in the neighborhood come out the house before. So nice to meet you. This is Jeff or whatever, and I'm Brittany, and just you enjoy your day, okay? I was like, all right, you guys take care, bye.
Okay.
So I don't know. I'm sure they were being friendly to an extent, but I'm sure it also was a bit of that nosy neighborness because they definitely did drop that they were part of the association, the homeowners association, and I was just like, please stay all up out of my family's business, please. Like, please leave me alone.
And that hoe can just
go. You can go.
Homeowners association, whatever.
All of it. And the part that really got me is that they on the back of their go-kart, whatever the hell that, whatever it was, on the back of their Mario Kart was an American flag, and underneath the American flag was a Georgia flag, and underneath the Georgia flag was a Trump 2024 flag.
Oh.
And I was just like, I'm gonna go
now,
right now. And then he also was like, oh, I see, what's that shirt say? I see it says something ATL, and I was just like, it's a Beyonce shirt. I went to the Beyonce concert. Yes, my big black ass went to the Beyonce concert. And proceeded to walk back to my car and got it and left. Okay. Which then leads me into The next hour was kind of quiet. I had stopped by somewhere on the way here. But then the next hour after that, back to ghetto-ness. So again, what I asked you, Kristen, what is one of my favorite foods?
Chicken tenders.
Chicken tenders. So, in my opinion, there's like a select handful of foods that should be impossible to fuck up. Chicken tenders, cheese pizza, any form of PB&J or a form of butter and jelly combination, and probably popcorn. Yeah. Maybe. Anyway, so I was hungry on my way here, and I decided to go to Popeyes. Why? Because I saw it. I never really go to Popeyes.
Does Popeyes sell chicken tenders?
They do. They do sell chicken tenders. So I was like, I know they sell chicken tenders. I'm gonna go to Popeyes and get some chicken tenders, and I know it's a safe bet. It's right there. Therefore, it should be a safe bet, right? And it's just like, we may get canceled for this next part because I know how y'all tussle about your chicken. I know how y'all feel about that chicken biscuit. Y'all were fighting people for it. Y'all were lining up, calling out of work. Like, y'all were doing a lot for that chicken. But let me tell you, Popeyes will never get the chance to disrespect me again. That was the saddest, most disrespectful, most pale, blame. I can't even talk.
This got you
plain
wrapped around.
It's just I was severely disappointed. And here's the thing: the last time I had Popeyes, I also wasn't stunned. But I was like, maybe it's because of the time I had Popeyes. So last time we had Popeyes, it was late. I was with you guys, and it was late. We were going to a movie, and I was like, it's a closing crew. I think the area you were in also was like,
cold.
right. I was like, what? It's fine. So gave it a second shot. I'm sorry. You can keep it. Popeyes, you ought to be ashamed.
and not.
Ought to be ashamed. So I'm going to go ahead and just say the Friendship University podcast, we're on Team Chick-fil-A. When it comes to the chicken, we're on Team Chick-fil-A because Popeyes ought to be ashamed.
I'll say this. I don't compare them, even though I don't really eat either one, but the chicken does taste different. So I can see why some people would go to Popeyes and why some people would go to Chick-fil-A. The thing I will say about that, though, is Chick-fil-A's taste consistency is the same across the board. Like, you can go to a Chick-fil-A here, you can go to a Chick-fil-A in Colorado, Seattle, wherever, it's going to taste the same. Popeyes chicken, if you go to one that's not, like, in the black area, or it's like, the Popeyes in Seattle is disgusting.
I bet.
It's like, the Popeyes in some parts of Texas is not that great. The Popeyes in Louisiana taste way better than the Popeyes here in Georgia. So
the most egregious part is, when you go to a drive-thru and they're like, "Can you pull up because the food's not ready?" I had to pull up and wait like 10 minutes for sad chicken tenders.
Wait a minute, if you were waiting, it should have been fresh.
They were fresh, and they tasted like fried butthole. Anyway,
it's tragic. I'm so sorry that happened.
I'm hungry, so we will be wrapping up this podcast expeditiously.
Yeah,
because I do want to eat. The fries were okay, but still, like Popeyes, I gave you a shot. I really did. I tried to give you a chance. I'll give you this. Your bread was cool, I guess, but like I would still prefer Chick-fil-A's bread because I think they do a little honey or whatever on it. Mm-hmm. But so yeah, that's led me in. Like I said, the past 3 hours have been like ghetto in their own way. Not like an awful ghetto, but just kind of like. White people, why are you in my business? Popeyes, why are you not good? It's not like another reason I went is because I don't trust McDonald's chicken. I've had McDonald's nuggets recently, and that's when I came back from Spain because I really wanted some American food, and that was the only thing that was open when I landed. But I always just feel like awful after I eat them. But any other like chicken from any other fast food place, unless it's Chick-fil-A or Zaxby's, that's the only like fast food chicken I kind of trust.
Real good off getting the
or
chicken
like
tenders from
Cane's.
Zaxby's.
Probably Zaxby's isn't the same either anymore. I used to work at Zaxby's actually. That was my first job. Well,
really?
It was my second job actually in high school. That was ghetto, but yeah, just Popeyes completely failed me, honestly. But outside of that, I'm doing good. We're back here for another week of the Friendship Podcast. We're here a little bit early this week because we are going to a show tonight. Very excited. Shout out to you, Thundercat. My first time seeing him live. I think you've seen him. And what else is going on? Loki's still the best, and that's all I got. And that's all she wrote, folks.
That's all she wrote. Well, I'm well. And I'm super excited to see Thundercat tonight. He's playing at the Coca-Cola Roxy, and hopefully he'll bring out some guests. I haven't seen him solo, like just on tour in a while. The last few shows I've gone to have been at festivals, but I will say, you can't, I don't know what to expect sometimes because I've seen him solo before when he didn't have as large of a music catalog and it was different than some of the festival shows. I saw him after his catalog kind of grew. That was different. He is known to bring people out. I've been at shows where he's brought several people out on stage to like jam with, or he has a lot of collaborations. So like I don't even know if he's still cool with him. I haven't seen Flying Lotus come out because him and Flying Lotus had a whole album collab. So that was a great show. Like I would say that was probably the best Thundercat show I've ever been to, out of the maybe 7 or 8 times I've seen him. I'm excited though. I've been seeing video. I don't want to get my hopes up too much because a lot of the shows that I saw him bringing all these people out were in California, which makes sense because these people probably do live out there. It's just easier for them to get. So I'm trying to think about who in Atlanta he could bring out. I don't know. Maybe they'll travel with them. Maybe, I don't know. We'll see. But I'm excited. I haven't been to the Coca-Cola Roxy in a really long time. And I do like that venue. It's just a lot of people that I want to see never perform there.
I hate that venue because you have to pay for parking.
Yes.
Any venue you have to pay for parking is immediately ghetto, in my opinion.
It is. And they really set it up, too, because there's no way around paying. Like, it's not one of those, let me just park in the street and walk. No. Like, every single place within a 2, 3, 4 mile radius is a parking garage, and you gotta pay.
Gotta pay. There was one time I went, and they charged us. Take a guess how much they charged us to park there.
$60.
$70.
$70? Let me tell you what happened. I don't know if I told this story or not. I went to a show. Who was I going to see? It was either 50 Cent or I think it was 50 Cent. I was going to the 50 Cent show. It was at Lakewood Amphitheater. Pull up. They're like, it's going to be $60 a part. I'm like, what the actual heck? 50 Cent? And to mind you, I didn't even pay for these tickets. These tickets were completely free to my part. But I didn't even want to pay $60 a part to see 50 Cent. I wouldn't pay $60. In my mind, I was like, I wouldn't even pay $60 to see Shaka Khan perform on that stage. Like, a legend.
If the parking costs more than the ticket, that's a problem.
Okay, I said $60. And so there is a park not too far away from Lakewood Amphitheater that I will park at sometimes. It's a little bit of a walk because you do have to walk through the entire parking lot to get to the actual amphitheater. But I went over there. The traffic was just so bad. We were running late. It was just a lot. And so I became my mom. Because my mom is someone, even though she's not going to get taken advantage of, she will pay for convenience. Like, if it costs $100 to get her right at the step, she only going to take one step out of her car, she's going to pay it. If it's $100 to take one step out of the car to get to her seat, and $10 to take 10 steps, she's going to pay the $100.
Mama likes comfort.
So I just became my mother's child. I drove up. I said, fine, to the car. Then I noticed people were parking and not paying. And I was
like, you can't play that here. Well, I guess you could. You can just call the boot girls now.
Well, it was a lot of people, though. Like, they weren't even checking.
They said, we can't boot us all.
they ain't got enough boots. It was like one attendant at the front who was taking the payment, and then there was another attendant down where you actually turned to park, and in your mind, you would think that's where they would check, but they weren't. So I was like, wait a minute. Came back, nobody had boots. Everybody was fine. I said, did I just get got?
And did.
Called my bank, did a chargeback.
I got to.
Got my money right on back to rent services unrendered. Thank you. Scam.
This conversation reminds me that I have an unpaid parking ticket I need to pay.
Oh no.
Whoops. Ain't gonna get it today.
This is the last story I'll tell about this because it's just recently happened. I went to dinner a couple of weeks ago, in West Midtown, and I don't know if you're from Atlanta or if you visit Atlanta and you know Atlanta, like the Marietta Street, West Midtown area has become very popular over the last few years. They built restaurants over there. It's a lot of nice housing. It's completely different than it was back in the day. So now the parking is paid. There's no free parking anywhere. So I just parked on the street, paid the meter or whatever. I ended up not realizing that I had gone over time, and I decided to put any more time on my app or whatever, the Park Mobile app.
Ghetto.
So I didn't realize it till I was leaving the restaurant and walking to my car. I saw the parking attendant giving tickets out. He was 2 cars down. I jumped in that car so fast and skirt.
Gotta go.
My way on out the door because you ain't gonna get me.
You're not gonna get me.
You're not gonna give me a $50 ticket for 20 minutes.
Okay.
No. So, yes, that's it. There's some other things I can say about tickets. I've never, knock on wood, got a ticket in the car I have. But I got a ticket in other cars I've driven that I did not own. I won't say who owned them. What a particular company did. But
it's fine. They're all right.
Several parking tickets.
They'll be just fine.
That vehicle.
They will be just fine.
I got a speeding ticket and everything.
Like I said, they'll be just fine.
They surely will. Anywho, outside of that, good week. Trying to think. Yesterday went to Mimosa Fest.
Mimosa Fest. Come on now.
Fun.
That sounds fun. That does sound like a good time.
Yeah. So I was actually supposed to go with a friend who ended up having like an accident. So
hope they're okay.
Yeah, they're fine now. But so they gave me the ticket, and so I asked our mutual friend because they were the closest in proximity. They don't really drink or anything like that. Not a fan of mimosas and stuff, but they had all the brunch beverages there, so they did get to try some of that. So that was nice. They had like a silent disco, which was really fun.
That's cute.
Yeah, it was super cute. They had 3 stations. It was like hip hop / Latin, pop, and I can't remember what the third station was. Maybe like, it wasn't rock. It was like old school, maybe. I don't know. But so people were just jamming to you could tell which station they were listening to because the lights on it.
Silent disco's a good
People
time.
were taking the headphones.
For why?
Why? You're not gonna be able to use them in real life. I mean, they were good headphones, but like, why?
You won't be able to use them ever again, right?
This is why they don't give us nothing.
Right.
Why are you doing that? Like,
Had someone by the door be like, give me the headphone.
Because I felt bad because they had one guy at the front handing out the headphones, and at one point he just got so overwhelmed he just started throwing headphones on the table to just so people could grab them because it was just so many people trying to get into the disco part of it.
Right.
But super fun. Got to try a lot of drinks. Met some fun people. Had a Rona scare because someone was so close to me talking. I could feel the spit come off of their mouth onto my cheek. And at that point, I said enough is enough. We're done here. And we left.
I would have punched them.
I had to back. They were drunk. I was like, you are too close. Like, I'm going to throw up. Please.
Like, please back the fuck up. Back the fuck up. Back the fuck up.
Yeah, but that was a good time. It was a nice night. It wasn't too cold. Wasn't too hot. And then just had a really straightforward week. It's been busy. I'm doing a lot.
Per usual.
I thank God. There's a lot of things are coming my way that I've been asking for, but I just need to get myself into an organizational flow because I'm all over the place. Like today, I just had so much to do, and yet I feel like I got nothing done, but I did get some things done, but I didn't get. I don't know. It's crazy. Saw Gucci Mane last week.
I think it's a lot of TikTok. Not TikTok. Instagram, right?
Yes. Yeah. He is a good time. Gucci Mane and friends. He brought out a lot of people. Brought out Big Latto. Big. He brought out T.I., which was kind of like a signifier that their beef has now been squashed. That they had for a long time. Who else did he bring out? I can't remember. But he did get honored with his own day. So now, in the city of Atlanta, October 17th will be Gucci Mane Day.
Come on now, Gucci Mane Day.
Shout
Better
out
be a
to
holiday.
him.
I'm not working.
I said I'm gonna take Usher got a day in Vegas. I think October 10th or something is now Usher Raymond the 4th day. I'm taking that off. I'm taking Gucci Mane Day off. These are down my book official holidays.
Black
Just count me
holidays. We
out.
got
I'm
it.
not
Okay.
working. But yeah, that was cool. It was a good time. It really I'm so happy I got to grow up in the Atlanta that I did.
Right.
Not to say that Atlanta now is bad or anything. It's just that time and culture was so like transformative and shaping, and it just really like is a different time. So happy for that. I don't really have a lot as far as pop culture or anything goes.
Because I ain't got nothing
Because
for our other segment.
it was so busy. And then we kind of like decided to record early this week, and that was a little bit more of a short notice. So I just didn't have the time to sit down and look, and haven't really been on social media or like reading anything. I did see though, I don't know if you saw this, the DJ Envy story about his Ponzi scheme in real estate. So him
Yes.
and this guy named Caesar Pina have now been arrested.
Lock 'em up, lock 'em up.
I don't know if they're still in jail or if they posted bail or whatever, but essentially, the prosecution team came together with evidence. So it says prosecutors claim that beginning in 2017, Caesar began taking investments to renovate and resell properties in New Jersey and elsewhere, promising a 20 to 45% return on investment in as little as 5 months. But Pina allegedly siphoned some investments for his personal use and used new investments to pay back old investors, which is literally a Ponzi scheme. Let's say you give me money, and then you ask for your money back. Like let's say all three of us, the mutual friends, you, me, and our mutual friend, you give me money. You ask for your money back. I use the money that the mutual friend gave to me to give you the money back. Now the mutual friend is asking me for their money back, and I don't have it because I gave it to you, because the money you gave to me, I spent on something that was not what I said was going to render profit to your bank. So if you at the bottom of
traveling, not
right,
money.
So you make the money if you're at the top, but you don't make the money back if you're at the bottom. So he used it for his personal use and used new investments to pay back old investors. Days before Pina was charged, NBC4 New York reported on multiple investors who hadn't received promised payments from their project. Pina reportedly sought investments in properties he didn't own, scammed multiple investors into paying for the same properties multiple times, and in one case offered to pay an investor back in jewelry. Pina and his wife Jennifer are now facing at least 20 lawsuits. So DJ Envy is in that same realm. He will also be facing about 20. Well, he hasn't been named in all 20 lawsuits, but he's facing the same charges. His wife can be indicted as well. I do not believe he has yet been named. She has removed all her luxurious photos she had off of social media.
Because you'd let them know we're broke.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let them know that was not using your money that you gave for flip this house for that big bag Birkin that I was showing off on this
Big
screen.
Birkin bag, no 5, no 4, no 6 figures.
So
Not a single figure to be seen. Only figures is 5-figure discount.
I'm not a celebrity. And I'm not a millionaire yet. So, when I think about these, like, people in these rooms having these conversations with one another, like, I got a great business idea and blah, blah, blah. It's just kind of like, y'all don't be asking for, like, a business plan. You don't, like, no research. You just, like, okay, you need $5 million? I'm going to give you $5 million.
Here's
like,
the thing for me, though. Here's the thing for me. Like, I don't understand how, like, why rich people feel like they need to scam. Like, why do you have the, you already have the money. Why do you feel like you need to
DJ
scam?
Envy would have been considered, like, the richest of the rich, though. Like, yeah,
you ain't got to be the richest of the rich.
He's well known, but see, that's the greed.
You know who should be scamming? The McDonald's workers.
You know who stopped scamming once they started making money? The City Girls. Because JT said if this rap stuff didn't make it, she would. They asked her, I think, in an interview, would you do the same thing and go back to jail again today? And she said, this rap stuff hadn't worked. Yes, I would scam again.
I would do it again
because I have to. I'm not going to work a 9 to 5 at McDonald's that only pays me $12 an hour. So I'm going to scam to make money and get the things that I want. So I just don't know. You know, people. One, because DJ Envy trying to act like he didn't know, like Caesar was the mastermind and he was just, you know, along for the ride and the promoter and really just the voice, not more so the businessman. Mm-hmm. But there's no way you didn't know that investors were calling, or it's almost like it reminds me of the Chandri,
who
the lesbian couple from the TikToks that got everybody all in uproar because they're getting a divorce. The lesbians that got the wife scammed the girl.
Oh!
And she now, yeah, it's like that. And I'm thinking in my mind, why were you not in the group chat between you and the renters? It took you actually getting contacted personally to now be put in the group chat between you and I get, like, if you're not paying bills, because, you know, I grew up and I used to see my dad let my mother give her the money. She would pay the bills.
Do what you gotta do.
Do what you got to, but like, it's so easy to now to be included. Like, you don't have to willfully be ignorant.
Right.
So I don't believe there's no way he didn't know that this was a Ponzi scheme and that, like, you weren't checking on the properties. You weren't, like, talking to any of the developers. You weren't.
No.
Nothing. You were just getting on Stevie Wonder's internet every chance you got on social media and telling them how great of an opportunity
great
this
investment.
would be. And it's funny because if you know me, you know I feel a particular way about Joe Budden. I won't share those today because I do not have the time. Let's just say he's someone who has opinions that I don't subscribe to, nor do I take value in. But a clip is resurfacing now of him telling DJ Envy verbatim, "This is a scam. You are going to go to jail." Like, if you are telling Joe Budden something and he is automatically like, actually, no, that's a scam. That's illegal. Don't include me in any of it. Then maybe you should be rethinking. This was like years ago that he told him this. So, don't scam, ladies and gentlemen. Please. Don't do the Ponzi schemes. Really just take
if you're going to scam, do it right.
Or like...
do it well.
Like, if you're going to scam, make a lot of money and then disappear. You're on the Breakfast Club. You are on a show that millions of people subscribe to and watch every day. You think it was going to be any kind of trouble for the cops to find you? Like,
I don't be getting, like, I don't understand. People be doing crime and then they be like, let me fuck it up by doing the dumbest thing. But whatever, knock yourself out.
I just don't like that young man who didn't pay that barber that time and he was like on live or something. It's just don't do the crimes if you can't do the time. I outside of morality, and that's just not wanting to do wrong, I can't break the law because I don't want to go to jail.
I can't do jail time.
I can't. The thought of being incarcerated instills enough fear into me.
I will follow the law.
Never break the law.
I'm good. I'm not gonna make it in jail because I can't get Chick-fil-A. I can't get my Sierra V face wash. I can't
use the bathroom in peace.
Okay.
I can't.
Prison Orange doesn't look good on me.
It doesn't. I only get 1 hour of sunlight or outside. Like, I can't just get in my car and go down the street to the store if I want to.
I can't see my cat?
Oh, yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah. We would be sending exclusive pictures of Loki to you. Nobody else. You wouldn't be requesting pictures of anybody else.
Show me
Loki.
the cat. Show me my cat.
He's
You would
not
have to come
talking
to my
about
visitation.
the coochie. He's talking about his actual feline animal. Yeah, I can't. So that's really the only thing that I remember happening within the last like week or so. Best of luck. I want vengeance for anyone who was wronged or is owed something. So, but then I'm thinking, you invested. What business plan did he tell you? What credentials did this man have? I'm thinking in my mind, I'm like, used to watch American Greed religiously. And I just be thinking, these people don't even be having business plans. Like, a man with a flashy Rolex shows up to a meeting and tells them, you can make a lot of money if you give me money, and then I'm going to make the money, and then you'll have more money. That's what they say.
They be like, okay, that makes sense to me.
Like, where do who do I write the check to?
That makes sense to me. That makes sense to me.
It's crazy.
1 + 1 is equaling 4 on that
really,
one.
All that show really tells me is that if you have enough confidence in what you're saying and doing, and you're in the right rooms, you can get what you want.
You can get what you want.
Get what you want. Well, anywho, so today, Mickey and I thought that we would, kind of strengthen our friendship with a game he wants to introduce to, perhaps become something of a maybe standard. I don't know. Maybe we'll play it again. We'll get on a cadence to see. Mickey, you want to tell us what game you picked up?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Thank you for the introduction. I don't have a friendship story this week, by the way, because, like I said, my past 3 hours have been ghetto, and we got recording a little early this week, so it is what it is. But yeah, so I picked up this game called Let's Get Deep. It's brought to us by the same creators of What Do You Meme? I never played that one either, but
I did it. I always wanted to play it, but I never bought it, and I didn't know anyone who owned it.
Same. So long story short, it's a really straightforward game. It's honestly it's meant for questions for couples, but we're a couple of friends. So there's 3 different categories of cards. We have level 1, which is icebreaker, level 2, which is deep, and level 3, which is deeper. So we're just going to pluck questions, and then we have the option to, of course, both answer it, or only one of us can answer it. Figure we both can just answer it. Why not? The rules did say to have them separated in 3 piles, but I figured we can just spice it up. Okay. So I just shuffled the cards together.
Oh, wow.
And I'm going to go ahead and let you get started. So,
okay.
And tell the people what level card you're picking up.
Okay, I'm going to just keep a little small deck over here.
Works for me. I'll do the same.
To reach my short arm across the... Okay. I chose the deep. That's the middle. So... It says, we can't get right.
We can't get right. I don't even know what happened just now.
What country would you want to travel to together?
I want to go to Africa. I know you've been trying to plan a trip to Africa for the longest time.
Man, COVID really messed up everything.
Everything. What? I'm sorry, y'all. Today is just not the day. We're in shambles. We'll never record on a Sunday again.
The Lord says, my day, girl. What are you doing?
Okay, what? Friendship. Friendship on a Sunday. Well, you need this fellowship on a Sunday, okay? Gotta get an amen.
Amen again. Okay, so I wouldn't mind going to Africa. I feel like we would have a good time. I want to do a lot of excursion stuff in Africa, so... I know you like to be outside. I feel like we would have a really good time in Amsterdam.
We would have a great time in Amsterdam, right?
Yeah. I feel like that would be
the techno scene was going up. Well, I guess a lot of the electronic music scene was going up this past weekend for I think it's called the Amsterdam Dance Event. I think. It's this big music conference that happens in Amsterdam every year. So I agree. I think we have a great time. All right, my turn. Moving us into an icebreaker question. Okay. What was your favorite story or book growing up?
Oh my gosh. Growing up, I have so many, but I'll start with the very first book that I got at a book fair that made me look at villains differently. I may have been either in kindergarten or first grade. And it was called The True Story of the Three Little Pigs, as told by the wolf.
Ooh, okay, come on. Defendant view.
And I remember just reading it, and it was just all these coincidental things happening. He went to one pig's house and had to sneeze, and that's how it got blown down. He went to another pig's house and stepped on something, and that it was all these really. It was almost like the Strange Occurrences of what's the name of that book? Yeah, it was just all these strange occurrences that were happening to him. And in the end, all of it was not intentional.
I'm surprised I never heard of this book. I'm probably gonna read it now because I sounds cute.
I feel it's still at my mom's house to this day. I gave it to my nephew when he was little, and then when he grew up, he gave it back to my mom, and it's just been at my mom's house. A lot of my small books are still there that she has just been passing on through all of the children. But I would say that. I will also say, I know a lot of people watched the show, but Lady Eloise actually had a book series. I used to also read the Babysitters Club a lot when I was very, very small. So I was really into like series because I didn't want it to end. Mm-hmm. So I would always like, oh, this is a lot of books. I get to like keep reading about it. So I would say that Black Like Me was a really good book that I used to read a lot. The Bible with my mother. Yeah, I would probably say that is the most. That's the first book I can remember purchasing with the money. I was gonna say my money, but the money that my parents gave me when I got to the book.
Here's the $5.
Yeah, I was probably like 5 or 6 when I bought that book.
For me, I think my favorite book growing up was the what's it called? Rainbow Fish.
Oh, I do remember Rainbow Fish.
Hindsight. Obviously, the book's about being different and like accepting yourself and stuff like that. So, like, hindsight is kind of like, oh my god, I guess like I like gravitated to the book because I was homosexual. But the real reason I loved the book was because I had the hard copy of the book, and it was like a limited edition, maybe of the version. I don't know. Somehow, some way, I ended up getting this book. I think from also a book fair. So the book was a hardcover. And the front where the fish was just a picture of the rainbow fish, and it has like its like scales and stuff. The one little rainbow scale that it had was like a different color, like was holographic, but it was also like, I don't know, had like this felt like thing on it, like you could touch it. So during class, I would just like rub the freaking scale because it just kind of felt good. But yeah, Rainbow Fish is definitely my my book. Whenever I go to like baby showers, I'll usually give them like a copy of Rainbow Fish. I'm trying to think if there's another book. If we're gonna talk a series of books, I think my favorite series of books was what's it called? The Magic Treehouse books. That might have been a little bit after you. You might have been that's probably a little bit after you were, because they were coming out as I was growing up. But essentially, it was like Magic School Bus meets I don't know. Magic School Bus in a Tree, basically, where it was these two kids that had this little tree house, and they would go, like they would use their imagination to go on like these super cool adventures. Pretty much the book series is that episode of SpongeBob when they had the imagination box. It was pretty much that, and it was pretty much the entire series. Was like, they would like one time the tree house was like a spaceship, one time it was like cool. They were chefs, another time it was like a medieval dungeon, or it was so yeah. That was probably my favorite series of books.
That's cute. That sounds fun. Okay.
Runner-up is also the series of unfortunate events, which is the exact opposite.
Yeah. I used to like to read that too. Well, I guess we're going deeper since that's all on the top. If you could work for any company in the world, who would you want to work for and why?
I would want to work for it's a tie, and I don't mean that to be a cop out. It's just they both mean a lot to me, and they both could offer something to me that I want. So either Exhale Music or Context Music, or I guess the third option being Anjuna Beats. All three of them are music labels owned by some of my favorite artists. So Context is owned by Amelie Lenz. I'm sorry. No. Context is owned by Charlotte DeWitt. Exhale is owned by Amelie Lenz. Then Above and Beyond owns Anjuna Beats. So working for them, this would be so incredible. Be able to travel the world, meet artists, be a part of their productions and different parties and all that stuff. They just actually, because I did mention ADE, the Amsterdam Dance Event, they both just hosted like their own like clubs and stuff throughout the week and stuff. So that's probably what I would have worked for. I used to want to work for Apple a lot when I was younger.
Let me
go ahead and just pause here for a second, because I do need to do a quick little read of Apple. So I have the iPhone 14 Pro Max. You know me, I love my iPhones. Really I'll get an iPhone every year. I may sometimes like want to look at an Android, but I'll always stick to an iPhone probably. All of a sudden, now that the iPhone 15 came out, my phone's been acting freaking crazy. And my phone's not old. It's less than a year old. I'm like, there's no reason for my phone to be acting like this. You ain't gonna get me Apple, because I will be taken to the Apple store, and you will be giving me another 14 Pro. Because what? As soon as the 15 comes out, my phone want to start acting wild.
That's crazy because mine's not hasn't been acting wild. I feel like they know the people who always get the new phone.
Got to.
And so they target those to just be like, any inconvenience, they're going to go ahead and get it. The people who they know will keep it.
They'll get it.
They just were like, let's not waste our time. Yeah. Coming from someone, I guess I can't get in trouble for saying this. I used to work for Apple, so. I mean, yeah, so it's public on my LinkedIn, so it doesn't matter. Yeah. But. So I have a few. I will say the company that I'm working for right now is a dream because, you know, it's in the music sector as well. And we're both like really heavy into music. If I could work for any company, I would say something in entertainment because that's essentially where I would want to go eventually with writing and pilots and movies and stuff. I could say like if I'm going the route of getting the opportunity for philanthropy, there's a homeless company called Family First, and they help to house displaced people, primarily people who are families, so people with children or married couples, different things like that. Because I do eventually want to one day build out. My dream is to buy a mega mall or something that's really large like the Mall of America, and turn that into a co-op space for the homeless and like teach them trade skills and like have a space where they can grow their own foods and just sustainability and things like that for them. Mm-hmm. I also, this is going to sound, so I would want, if I go into the media aspect, it's easy for me to say, oh, Walt Disney or like a Netflix or something. But I honestly, when I think about it, I would love to work with Kev on Stage in the Kev on Stage studios. Just the more that I learn about him, the more that I see how he treats his people and his employees and workers and different things, and his creativity has no bounds, right? Like if you have an idea, it's like, I don't know this man personally, obviously I'm going based off of what the persona is that he gives us on social media and the content I see on his app, because I do have his app and just different things like that. But if you have an idea, he's like, yeah, how can we execute it? Like, yeah, and I'm all about that. I'm all like, let's make a storyboard. Let's do this. Let's like get this out and see how we can actually make this come to fruition, because it's a good idea. So that would actually really be a dream if I went into, because I can totally see it continuing to grow. I don't think this is the lowest we'll ever see the Kev on Stage studio. And I don't know if that's the actual like name of his company, because he has like Kev on Stage, he has some Kev on Stage studios, and he has the stage crew, and just there's a lot. So I'm not sure of the official name, but I would love to work for his entertainment company.
That would be incredible. Yeah. I didn't know he had a studio, actually.
Yeah, he has an app, and everything on the app is produced by him. He's obviously in a lot of the content as well. Yeah, it's really good. He has, the ability to put out as much content as he does is very inspiring.
Hell yeah. So another icebreaker question.
Okay.
If you had to cancel one major holiday, which one would you eliminate?
July 4th.
And that's that on that, okay? Because we really can X that out.
Quote unquote Independence Day.
Allegedly Independence Day.
That, or what they now say Indigenous Peoples Day, which does nothing for the people that you displaced.
And there it is. So, yep, we're both the same on that one.
Okay. I'll do an icebreaker so that would. Yeah. What? I already know the answer to this. What is your favorite day of the week?
If we're gonna be super honest, if I'm doing my normal flow of living, like working and yada yada yada, usually Thursday is my favorite day of the week, because it's like my body knows it's about to be like weekend time, so like Thursdays usually the day I'm like the most productive. I get a lot of stuff done. Fridays are normally like wash days where like I work and then I literally just like go to sleep after work, so like I don't count Fridays. Saturday and Sunday go by so quick where I don't really care, but Thursdays are typically my favorite days of the week.
Yeah.
What do you think my answer was going to be?
I thought it was going to be maybe Friday or Saturday.
Yeah, I mean, that's cool and all, but you know, Thursdays I usually feel like I'm like, the week is ending, let me do this last hurrah, and
Yeah.
then, the next 3 days are like, just turn your brain off.
Yeah, I get that. I dig that. It flips. Currently, I would agree Thursdays. I do thoroughly enjoy Thursdays. I am in a position where I do have to take several meetings throughout the week. And by Thursday, I know Friday is like, we try to do a no meeting thing. Like, as far as like my corporate job is concerned, we try to do no meetings on Friday. So I really can like be in the head workspace to get a lot of stuff done on Friday. And they're normally not heavy. It's not a heavy day. So even though I'm working, it's very light. I usually can wrap up early on Fridays. Some Fridays. Nah. Actually, I take that back now. I mean, sometimes. But, and then, currently it's Thursday. It used to be Sunday, but I don't currently have a church that I'm a member of. The church that I was a member of moved very far away, like out of the state. So, yeah, it used to be Sundays, but now currently it's Thursdays.
Oh yeah, very nice, very nice. All right, so my next question is a deep question, and it says, if you could be fluent in any other language, what would it be, and why?
Honestly, it would either be French or Portuguese. Portuguese because I do want to visit more countries or cities there, and people try to say that Portuguese is close to Spanish, but it's not. Not in the grand scheme of things, because even learning Spanish in Spain is very different than Mexico. So,
Right.
French just because I've always loved the language, and I think it's that old like Hollywood allure. It's beautiful, it's romantic, all that quintessential stuff, and I would just love to know what they're saying. I'm around more people who speak Spanish and French. I mean, I would say Asian, like Korean or something, but it would be cool to know like a Korean or a Japanese or a Cantonese even, but resourceful wise, I would probably get more use out of French or Portuguese.
Before I tell you my answer, I have to just let everyone know where I stand as far as the French language goes. Which, shout out to the French people. I've worked with French people. I don't have any like close French friends, but I have worked with French people. Their language is not sexy, or romantic. It is very, I don't know. I don't find it a very sexy language, personally speaking, but neither here nor there. Which is no disrespect. I mean, English isn't a very sexy language either, honestly.
The enunciate in the grand scheme of things of like how other people speak. It's like the accent and stuff.
Maybe my problem is when French people try to speak like regular old English. I'm like, why does it sound like this? If I could learn any language fluently, it probably would be like a Japanese or like Korean, maybe Chinese or Mandarin. Just because I feel like it would be really interesting to be able to read, like their language and whatnot. Because like, you see symbols and stuff like that. I'm like, I have no idea what this means. Like, I would love to learn that.
But it's just so many. It's like if you choose one, they're just like if you learn Japanese, you wouldn't know Mandarin or like.
I probably would pick Mandarin, honestly, seeing how that'll be our overlords one day.
And I don't want anything that where I had the indentation or like the inflection in my voice changes what it means. I don't want to be responsible for none of that. So, but I guess if I could learn it, it wouldn't matter. I would be able to learn it just fine. Okay, we're about to get deeper. What is a moment you get nostalgic about and why?
Honestly, probably the first time I played music. Well, not played music, but like DJ'd live, just because it was the first time ever doing that, and I was really freaking nervous to do it. Like, I didn't know if I was gonna do a good job, because like I only ever DJ'd in my room, for you and like our mutual friend and my dog at the time. So I didn't really know what to expect or like how good of a job I was gonna do and stuff like that. And it was the first time doing it like not only in person but like in a club in a professional setup that I just wasn't familiar with. But apparently did a really good job. I got like a lot of compliments after my set was over, and everyone was like, "Oh, you did such a good job," and like, "Oh my god, like, we'd love to see you do it again." Blah 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 blah. So. I think about that memory fondly. I actually think I talked about it last week, where I was like, I think about that like it happened yesterday. I probably should work on getting some new gigs so I can have some other things to look forward to and be nostalgic about. But until that happens, I will hold that one near and dear to my heart.
Well, nothing will ever be like the first.
True.
The first time getting over that hump. So
it's also played in Spain, which is really cool. I can't say a lot of people's first set is like traveling internationally and doing it.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
But yeah, how about you?
Man, that's a tough one. Because I do have a lot of memories that I get nostalgic about when I think about them. I would say my first time really getting a piece of the music industry. I used to be a 99X roadie when I was younger.
Really?
Yeah. And so we used to go to shows and just do all that. And I just think about the group of people. Sometimes I wonder what they're doing. I've seen like one or two of them. They've like gone on to have careers in like radio or stage management. Just something in the industry that we were doing it for free at that point. They really had that sound bit on Instagram be like, what's a scam or something that we've come to like just take? Like, what's something that's actually a scam but they just market it as the truth?
Right.
This whole internship mess where you do not pay people for their work or their time
ghetto.
Is ghetto.
A scam.
Okay, it's a scam. I can see some instances where, okay, you do an internship in your high school or even in college, but the kind of commitment level these people ask for, especially if you're an adult in college, like a true-fledged adult, and they want you to commit 40 hours a week to an internship that is not paying you anything, no. And so, I will say being a 99X roadie was super fun. I had no responsibilities. I was like 16. So
right.
I'm out here, I'm going to free shows. I'm seeing bands, that were small. And then a few years or a year later, they like blowing up. Like I saw a lot of people when they were on smaller stages. Met a lot of cool people. I can't believe my parents let me do that now that I'm thinking about it. Now that I'm thinking about it, my Caribbeanized dad, like, oh my God. And my mom.
I'm shocked that they let you.
This is what I will say. Because I was a quote unquote good kid, like I didn't like to get in trouble. I honestly did not like the feeling. So I didn't do anything to get myself into trouble. So I guess that just built a lot of trust. And my parents, they were just tired. I was the last born, and they just didn't have it in them. They just was like, we trust her. She brings in good grades. She doesn't do anything. I just don't got the energy. Here's car keys. You be independent now. So, yeah, the 99X roadie thing is pretty cool. That's a good time that I think about in my memory.
Very nice. Very nice. Never had that experience personally. My parents would never play those kind of games for me. I didn't like getting in trouble, but my parents were also a little, they weren't overbearing, but they definitely weren't like playing them games. Like as far as like even having like sleepovers, they were like, no, none of that. But
yeah, now I couldn't. My mother had to know your parents like for a while, know your family, know the kid. I couldn't spend the night at people's houses. She did allow me to have people spend the night at our house. Our house actually for a while was the house to be at. But outside of like cousins, it was no. She wasn't playing that sleeping over, especially if you had like brothers or stuff like that. She was like, no,
absolutely not.
I think it's on you.
Yep. So. Is it on me? Are you sure?
Yeah, I just asked the nostalgic memory.
Got it. Yep. So we're going to go ahead and move into a deeper question. So that's our level 3 of questions. What event from your childhood has most shaped you today?
Oh my gosh.
Deeper.
What a deep question. That's a lot. That's a loaded question. What event from my childhood? Event from my childhood. Let me think back on my childhood. I wasn't a child. I mean, I was a child, essentially, like, not an adult. But I was a teenager. I was, like, 17 when my dad passed away. So, well, or was I 18? I had just started college. That, I had a concept of death. I had always, because by that, well, let me say this. By that point, a lot of people around me hadn't died. I think the only funeral at that point I had ever been to was my maternal grandfather. And that he died when I was like 12 or 13.
Right.
So I hadn't seen a lot of death, but even then, like when he died, I was like, I realized, oh, people get sad, but they move on and different things like that. When my dad passed away, though, it was a moment where this is one of the formative moments that actually shaped my relationship with God, because I had known about God and I thought I had my own personal relationship at this point, and I did. But I didn't understand the concept. They always tell you don't question God, and you know God doesn't get you can't be mad with God and blah, which is an absolute lie. I mean, right. I think the whole concept of God being in existence and being your creator is so that you can come to him and get answers to questions that you have. So for a while it was some sort of suppression, because I was like, I shouldn't be mad, I shouldn't question why, I'm just gonna take it in stride. And then that kind of just starts to affect how you are. And then I went to a couple of counseling sessions and got some spiritual guidance, and it just taught me about the true meaning of grief. And moving forward. Like, you don't really know how to move forward, or that you're even capable of moving forward, unless you have boundaries that push you there. So if life were the same every day, we would never know what the human mind or body is capable of. If everybody just settled in today to say where we are technologically wise is the best we'll ever get, we should just stop trying to find any more innovation in the world, we'll never know if we actually can have flying cars or not. Right. So, it's going to sound cliche, but I just didn't know how strong I actually was until I went through that. I didn't know how strong my mom was. Like, she was the superwoman to me in my eyes. I was like, this lady could do anything. She's taking care of all these kids. She working in medicine.
Can't imagine.
I'm like,
no, that's a lot.
I'm tired. I'm tired all the time. And I don't understand how my mom was not tired all the time.
Can't be the same 24 hours.
It's not the same. We can't be the same people.
Can't be.
House is not in disarray. It's just is remarkable. But even seeing her get through that with us, and just coming together as a family, and just really moving forward. I would say that formed a lot of my understanding of death and my understanding of grieving, and a lot of my grace. A lot of the way that I operate in grace today, I say, was probably formed in that time of adversity.
Yeah, I mean, those kind of life-altering situations definitely will test you and kind of, put you to your limits. And I mean, kind of happy you said the thing about being angry about angry about it, or angry at God, because I think that's super important to talk about. But we can get more into that another time. But yeah, thank you for sharing that very deep, intimate.
Say it, get deeper.
Yeah, so let's see here. A memory of mine that kind of formed my childhood. I had one on the top of my head, but I'm not gonna lie, it kind of slowly left my brain. For those who don't know, I'm slowly dying on this podcast right now because I am not feeling very good. But it just kind of started happening while we were recording, so we're pushing through
for you all.
For you,
be grateful.
Like, comment, and subscribe. Anyway,
please.
I would say my life altering or whatever thing growing up was actually probably a little bit more lighthearted. I mean, I'm purposely choosing something lighthearted because I could name numerous traumatic things. So much lighthearted note. when I was younger, like I said, I'm the younger one of a lot of my friends. Like where my birthday falls on a calendar year, I typically was one of the last people to turn whatever age it was when that year rolled around. So there was one year where all my friends turned 18, meaning they could all go out to the club, and it was a year where like I was still 17 for a full year. They ended up going to this electronic show that I really, really wanted to go to, but I couldn't go because I was too young and I was being a good person and like not trying to sneak in or get a fake ID or anything like that. Like I never was like one of those kids who was like, let me get a fake ID, let me do all these steps to try to get into a party or get into whatever. Like if I'm not meant to be there, there's probably a good reason I'm not meant to be there. So they ended up going out without me. I saw all the videos. That's when like Snapchat had just became a thing. So of course everyone's like snapping and all that stuff, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Do people still use Snapchat?
From my understanding, yeah, actually. I thought only drug dealers used it, but apparently
That's what
I
I
was
thought.
wrong.
Snapchat
Nah,
and Cash App.
the young kids, the Gen Zers, they're still using TikTok.
Good for them.
I mean, Snapchat.
I wasn't really like into the whole like let me just jump through hurdles to try to make this thing happen. So they came back and told me all about it, and it was just sounded so much fun, and like I feel like I really missed out and all that stuff. Like I was really upset that it wasn't able to go. But it was that excitement that kind of led me into finally like going to one when I did turn 18, and then it was kind of like everything was history after that. One show led to another, led to another, led to another, and now here I am DJing and all this other stuff like that. So, like I said, I probably could have found like way more traumatic options if I wanted to, but I figured we can keep it a little light for the moment.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I got some light ones. I just came to my mind. I do have some lighter ones, I will say.
Your turn?
Yes. Icebreaker. Can you play any instruments?
Define play. Like I probably can like string a little something on a guitar or like play like a few bits of a song on a piano, but like I feel confident enough to like you tell me to go pick up this cello or this saxophone and play a song now. I would love to learn. I would love to learn the saxophone. I feel like that's a really fun instrument to try to learn. But yeah, as of right now, I don't have any. I mean, unless you count like a deck, like a DJ board, as an instrument. Then other than that, no.
Yeah, deck's probably like a technical instrument.
Right.
So it's funny that you mentioned that because even though I played the cello when I was like in grade school and a little bit of middle school, I would be confident enough to play it today. But confidently I can say because I still do occasionally play and own a guitar. I could probably like play bass or lead. If you ask me to play a song, I can still probably play the baritone, which I played, and the clarinet. Could probably still play that. I probably can't play the oboe as well. I don't know though. I stopped playing the oboe a while ago. Like I stopped before I stopped all those other instruments. I mean, I definitely could play something on the piano or the keys. So I don't think that kind of goes away. Yeah, just grew up with it, and I just was just always curious. I'm like, wow, how does it make this sound? Like, I want to make that sound. So, but other instruments like the violin, the cello, I probably can't like play much of nothing on that at all. Even the saxophone I played for like a couple of years, but I probably couldn't pick it up and play it today. Only thing I feel like confidently, and I also think confidently I could play it because I can read music. I can still read music, so.
Right.
Ooh.
My turn?
Mm-hmm.
Next question. It's a deep question. Deep question. What childish thing do you still enjoy?
What childish... I don't want to say cartoons because now they make adult cartoons. I mean, they used to make adult cartoons when I was younger, but not the way that we have now access to. I feel like there are way more adult cartoons than before. Something childish I still do. I'll still occasionally, depending on them type of steps, will just randomly like run up them or run down them.
Like skipping steps?
Yeah. Or like running real fast or running up them real fast or running down them. I feel like that's pretty childish. It's just like
these knees don't work like they used to. I can't do that. Can't risk it. Cannot risk it.
I feel like that. Yeah. What other childish things? I mean, now the things we deem childish have made a circle around. Like coloring used to be considered childish, but now it's like they have adult coloring books and stuff like that. Playing video games. Some people consider playing video games to be childish, and I definitely do still.
But,
I don't understand either anything that alleviates stress or gives relaxation that's done in moderation, doesn't hinder you from getting what you need to actually get done in life, and doesn't cause harm to yourself or others. I don't understand why people have a problem with that.
Right.
Like if a grown man or woman wants to sit down and play a couple of hours of it, even if they want to take their Saturday, if they don't have no responsibilities, they don't have kids to look after, if they don't got no plans that they had, nothing to get done that's imminent, and they want to sit down all day on a Saturday and play video games, let that person do that. Why you gotta judge them?
Well, truly, like,
you take your Saturday and you spend 4 hours in Target, that could be childish. Like, for real. It's crazy.
Something childish I still do. Here's the problem with this question for me, and this is not by any means am I saying I'm such a mature man. The problem is I was a pretty chill and mature child, so like the stuff I did as a child I still do now. Like I still like to chill by myself. I still like to watch TV and cartoons and things like that. Like you said, I don't think cartoons are particularly childish in and of themselves, so they make adult cartoons, but most of the stuff I watch nowadays is a little bit more on the mature side as far as like adult cartoons go, like Rick and Morty or anime or something like that. I would say the childish thing I still do is probably being a picky eater. I can still have the diet of a baby bird or something. I don't fucking know, but there'd be times where I'd be like, I'm not eating this. I don't want this. I want chicken tenders.
Chicken tenders and fries. Yeah.
There's chicken tenders and fries on the way here as we speak. So yeah, like I said, that's probably still my childish thing.
That's fair.
My love of chicken tenders.
I can see that. Yeah, I didn't really do many. Yeah, I guess childish thing. The only childish cartoon I watch that's not for adults is Bluey. I be watching Bluey, man. It's good.
That's a new show, right?
Yeah. What got me was that scene with the mom that went viral. It was
I haven't seen any of it.
Yeah, it was just a scene with the mom, and it was showing how a parent, especially a mother, can get overwhelmed because she has like 2 small kids.
Oh, you know what? Actually, I think I know what you're talking about.
And I started watching it with my godson. And we were watching it like every day because I was babysitting. So I was like, this is good. And I caught myself watching the episode one day. He wasn't there. I was like, wait a minute. And I don't watch it like religiously. But every now and then I'll be like, let me put a little Bluey on. Let me see what they talking about.
Okay. A little, what is he, a dog?
I think they're dogs, yeah. Okay. But there are other animals. All of the characters are animals.
And do you think they do a crossover with Peppa Pig?
I would actually, Peppa Pig may actually hang up on the Bluey kids. The Bluey children are very rambunctious. They have a lot of energy and they talk a lot, and it's just, I mean, that's how children are, I would say, but still, I'm not really like, yeah, they don't really.
I get it.
Yeah, deeper.
Ooh.
3rd level. I have a lot of deeper cards. Let me pick a deep. It's a deeper. He's colorblind too. Sorry guys, I gotta read it. Oh, it's variations of purple. Okay, what are your parents' or family's opinions about having kids?
Them heifers want me to have kids for some stupid reason. I don't understand why. Just the kids are. Anytime I go to a family event, when you gonna have kids? You should have some children. Why? For why? So they could live underwater. For them to die on CO2 emissions.
I am done with you.
For them to be slaves in America, I'm good.
You're wild.
I'm good. I'll just have my money, me, myself, and my money. My money and my cat and my kids.
You're a fur parent, so.
Okay.
You're a fur father. Yeah, I think, especially you're the only son, so they feel like you carry on the name and the legacy and everything. My family as well is like, when are you going to get married and have children? And I'm like, do you have a man for me right now that you could, do you know a man that you feel like is worthy of me marrying and that I'm worthy of marrying? Okay, then don't ask me again unless you have a solution for it. I do desire to be married and have a family one day, and I honestly feel like it's gonna happen sooner than I think. But yeah, they're totally wanting me to have children. I want to have children. I did at one point not want children when I was younger. I say, like when you actually start, I'm not gonna say when you start thinking about, when I was thinking about actually marrying someone, like we were on the road actually engaged and stuff, and we started having those conversations, I was like, I don't want children. I would much rather just be me and my partner for the rest of our lives, and we could just do whatever. And as I grew and learned and saw, I was like, children, actually, I do enjoy being around children. I do love them. It was more so the giving birth part where I was like,
that sounds awful.
Don't want to do this.
That sounds awful.
But now I do have a desire to, whatever way God sees it for me to have children, I will be grateful for. I would love to carry. Yeah, I want children now. I don't want a lot of children. Like,
how many do you want?
I would be, I actually wouldn't mind. Give me twins. Boop, one pop.
Okay,
just pop
knock them
out. And we're good.
Knock them out.
2 babies at once, then we can wrap it up. I'll be good with that. And it's actually not so off part of happening because the twins do run in my family. My grandfather, father, uncles, I have a set of aunties that were twins, so it's like a lot of opportunity for that to come down the pipeline.
Well, good luck to you. But yeah, no, I mean, kids sound cool and all, but I just don't want to do it. I don't feel like dealing with another human life. I don't feel like dealing with like paying for it. It's just a lot.
It is a lot, but I feel like I'm gonna have something to leave in this world, and I would love to have children to take that on and leave their own marks.
I'll leave a cat. All right. This will be my last one here because again, I am dying over here.
Hopefully, dokley.
Name a healthy activity you wish you did more.
I wish I lifted weights more. I do a lot. I enjoy. It's not that I enjoy cardio. It's just a lot of the things that I enjoy doing are cardio. I love bike riding. I love running, walking, doing those kind of things. But I'm just like, I gotta lift these weights. Why do I have to lift these weights? Why can't everything just be from my legs?
You gotta get these gains.
I wish and I'm trying to love it a little bit more day in and day out. This is what I say. And I think this ties into why I don't like lifting or not. I have an aversion to lifting weights. I don't like going to the gym.
That's
the
fair.
workouts that I do outside a lot of times.
That's fair.
And I don't have my own weight sets like they do at the gym. So I'm more inclined to I'm more inclined to do something that's more cardio related than the weights. But I'm trying to get these gains.
I get the exact opposite. I don't mind lifting a weight, but cardio, I'm like, kill me in my life. I would say probably just cooking at home. I eat out way too much. It's just that I'm like lazy, if we're gonna be honest. Like I just don't like the aspect of like having to like prepare the food and cook it and season it and then clean and then all that stuff. But I just also don't want to eat the same thing over and over and over again all day, every day. Like skinless, boneless chicken breast and some rice or whatever. Like I'm not trying to do that. So definitely cooking more often, or at least cooking at home, I should say. I guess, yeah, cardio also, like I said, I don't enjoy it, but, maybe in an alternate universe I will, or maybe in the future I will. I tried cross country and I was in high school, and that was a mistake. So I think me and cardio just aren't really meant to be.
I get it. Do you want? I'll let you choose. You want to do an icebreaker or deeper?
Let's do a deeper.
Okay, we'll end with a deeper. During conflict, do you prefer to talk things out right away, or do you prefer to take time to calm down?
I used to be a right away person. Like I used to be the kind of person like I couldn't let stuff rest. Like we had to like talk about it, get it knocked out, and move on as soon as possible because I don't like stuff like kind of lingering. Mm-hmm. Now that I'm an adult, now that I've gone to therapy and stuff like that, like I mean, I still would prefer to just knock it out, but like if the other person needs time to process or like, you know, come to a conclusion about where they are as far as the situation goes, then I don't mind waiting to give them that space within reason, of course. Like, you know, I'm not gonna give you like, you know, 5 months to come to a conclusion, but like,
or
you know,
7 years,
right? You know, I'm gonna let you give it a little space, come to a conclusion, and come back to me, you know, expeditiously. But yeah, you know, back in the day, I used to be kind of person like, well, no, we need to talk about this right now. Like, this is a big deal, and if we don't talk about it, it's gonna be a big problem later. I also think it's like circumstantial. Like some things you do need to talk about right then and there. Some things you probably could just be like, yeah, it is what it is. Let's move past it. But I'm gonna say probably more often than not, yeah, let's just knock it out. But how about you?
I think it would be situational for me. I am someone who doesn't mind processing feelings as I'm talking to the individual, whereas I do know some people prefer to really sit down and think about how they feel, how they're affected, and then come back to have the conversation. Mm-hmm. So, depending on the situation, like, you know, if it's not something that you feel comfortable talking about right now, right, I'll wait a couple of days or give you some time to just, like, think things through. Now, I say situation because if we're talking about, like, maybe I caught you in a lie or something, like, or I'm approaching you about a situation that seems shady or something, we're going to talk about this right now. Because, like, you don't need a couple of days to try to come up with something
excuses,
else.
Right, okay.
Yeah, we need, this is a time-sensitive thing. Or if it's time-sensitive, I'll say, yeah, like, if it's a situation where me and my partner have to make a decision on something and it's time-bound and we really need to talk about it, then, or my friends, same way. So, yeah, but I am usually more often than not equipped to talk about it at that time. When I think about it, there have been very rare moments where I'm like, I just actually need to take a moment and decompress from this situation and come back with it with new eyes.
Right.
If I'm angry, like if I'm actually angry, if that's the emotion I'm pinpointing, I may just take some time to like calm down,
relax a little bit, yeah, come back with the
versus
more stable,
versus if it's like I'm inquisitive about something or I'm inquiring, yeah. So that is how I am. Well, yeah, I want Mickey to go lay down because he is slowly drifting away out of here. And we need to get my boy good. I'll end with our friendship quote of the week. It's the game of life. Do I win or do I lose? One day they're going to shut the game down. I got to have as much fun and go around the board as many times as I can before it's my turn to leave. Tupac Shakur.
Come on, Mr. Willow Pickett Smith.
Anywho, thank you all for tuning in to another episode of The Friendship University. We are happy to have you supporting us in this way. If you could, please like, comment, subscribe, follow us on all the socials, comment on the platforms that you're listening to. Listen, ladies and gents, this is an easy, free way for us to be able to continue to do this. You do not know how much it means for you to rate us and leave comments about how much you enjoy the podcast and, you know, the things that you like us to discuss. Follow us on all socials. We are on Twitter, TikTok, and Instagram at Funny Podcast. It's FUNIPODCAST on all platforms. Or you can send us an email, friendshipuniversitypodcast@gmail.com. We'll see you all next week.
Bye.